evening. It's peeing with rain outside, so you can't really get out and amongst it, and it's dark quite early. So I've come home from work and I want to get some sword work in. So I am going to use my short sword, Damascus steel blade. Unfortunately, I haven't got around to leathering the hilt here, so it might be a bit slippy. Okay, so first up, nice and easy. So extending the arm, and you're just flicking the blade forward and back. Over and over again, 2 or 3 sets of maybe 20 to 30, or until you lose count or can't do any more. Give it a bit of a rest. Repeat on the other arm. And then when you come to your last few, always finish with power. Okay, so fully extend as quick as you can. And no more than 5 reps. You need to finish with your muscle being powerful and fast. Obviously repeat on the other arm. I told you there wasn't much clearance in here. Obviously with that simple move, you can repeat from all kinds of angles to make your cuts more effective. So you could potentially just spend a whole session working on that bit of wrist movement. Okay, next one. I'm going to struggle in here because we are indoors. If you have lower ceilings than me, don't do this at home, do it outside. One thing that does work in practice is a rotational cut. So you might come in for a cut here, and then after feigning, rotate to come in that way and get the hit. That's been quite effective for me when sparring with Jason. It's about rotating the wrist and coming through. And initially you want to try and focus on keeping the blade so that the sharp edge is coming down straight through whatever your plane of attack would be. And then you can generate a bit more pace. And you can also go with a backhand cut, like so. And those are pretty tiring, and you can see my wrist and elbow flexibility is not great. I think people that are regular fencers would be able to do that much better than I'm doing, but it's still a good exercise nonetheless, and you'll get better at that. And I am struggling because of the wrist, because core strength is really important when swinging a weapon, because you generate a lot of the initial power in your core, and then the arms bring the rest in. And even with a more fencing type stance where you're thrusting and holding the weapon out in front of you, you need that core stability to be able to generate the most power there. But in terms of using the sword, to practice that basic cut move. And again, I'm focusing on stopping the blade. Obviously, in practice, you'd be coming all the way through, but actually what helps with your core is if you focus on that stop, you really have to squeeze the core as you come through. I would go with quite a few reps of this, so maybe 2-3 sets of 20 to 30 reps each side, and then when you come to finish it off, power, speed. So it's really quick, and it's only 3 or 4. So I'm going two-handed with this, mainly because I haven't got the leather on here. But again, you could do the same thing with single hand. But don't forget, you're engaging that core. It's like an ab in 30 minutes thing, but fun because you get to use a sword. Next one, maybe having the blade slightly behind you, and you don't even necessarily need to use the forearms this time. All in the core there. So again, if you do come in for a big cut or a big swing, you're generating power before you've even brought the wrist in. That can then aim and target where you're going to hit. So it's kind of like a crunch really. 20 or 30 of those each side, 2 or 3 times. And then finishing with 3 powerful ones. That's what I'm doing at the moment. Any comments, any feedback, any things you think are not good, ask any questions, post underneath. Please subscribe. DarkAges Warrior. Oh, that's a telephone. Didn't have telephones in the Dark Ages. Maybe a rock on. Not really into rock. DarkAges Warrior. Swords and that.